Welcome to the second part of our course, and in this part, this is where we, begin to take things really seriously. Yeah. This is a part where we start, designing these beautiful traveling mobile application without writing a single line of code using Flutterflow. So where do we start? We start from the very first part, which is going to be these screens. So let's try to see how we can create all of this screen, and then from there we move to the next part and the next part and the next part. Okay, so this is it. If this is the very first time that you are using Flutterflow, so what you need to do, okay, not like using Flutterflow, but you're creating an application, or your very first time, using Figma, right? So the link to this particular Figma design will be made available in the introductory message to this course. I will send this particular link, and so you will just click on it and then click open in Figma, and it will bring you to here, and you will have access to these as well, and then from there you can begin developing your application within Flutterflow. And so the first thing you need to do is I click on these. It looks like all of these screens have been grouped, and so what I need to do is double tap. When I tap, I can now select each of the screens. You see, I can select each of the screens. And from what I've seen here so far, the designer did not make each of the components of the application available for easy use, right? So these are just like images of the main design, because we are supposed to be able to like tap on it and then access each of the components. For instance, let's go to the style guide. Now not the style guide, the components. Now in the components, right, so let me just go to one particular part of the component section. Now in the component here, this is like a card for each of the traveling, the trip locations. So I clicked on this. It was formerly like this. Then for me to access the things that are inside, I have to double tap, and then for me to access what is inside again, I have to double tap, and then from there I double tap to access each of these small things. But now in the main design area, each of these things, no matter how many times I double tap, I can't have access to it because they were made available as images. Okay, so we are going to just be using placeholder images for these things, and then maybe towards the end we can now find real images and put right in the finishing touches of our application. Okay, so let's begin. Now this is just a normal screen, and the dimension is 375 by 812. All right, so we will just come here to Flutterflow, and we either sign in or we click to start for free, right? So you can sign in if you already have an account with Flutterflow, or you can start for free if you don't have an account with Flutterflow. So I already have an account, so I'm gonna just click sign in, and well, it will bring me here. But for you, if it's your very first time, you won't see anything here. Your projects will be empty. So, but for me, I've created a lot of things, and I think some projects self even a year ago. I have a whole lot of other things here. I wouldn't like to go upper there because I have clients projects on top. So I will click on create new, and then I will say traveling mobile app. This is gonna be the name of our project, TMA. All right, and the next thing I need to do is click on blank app because we want to build the application from scratch. Had it been wanted to build from an existing template, what we would have done would have been to select from here. Okay, so we just want to create blank, and when I click on that, it brings me here. And what I just need to do is just scroll down here, and then we're supposed to set up Firebase, but at this point we don't want to set up Firebase. Firebase is what we're supposed to use in storing the different details that will be used in our applications, like the images of the user, the name of the user, their decisions in the application, like when they book a particular travel trip location, right? So that's what Firebase will be doing for us. But we just had to go ahead and like skip that part, and we will just say start building. Why are we building without setting up Firebase at first? Well, Firebase is when you want to begin doing the backend for your application. And in this particular course, we're dividing it into front end and backend. And so what we're doing right now at this particular stage is purely front end. And I hope that you understand that. So now let's go over to, let's go back here, and then these are application, and then this was the first page, and this is how it looks like when we create a new page in Flutterflow. And so just to to show you some things, if you're totally a beginner here, so this is like the page selector, and then this is the widget tree, and this is the Fire Store tab, and the app, app state, and the data schema. We will go ahead and be learning these things one by one by use. So here, this is the page selector, and here we have just one page, okay? And it's been called home page here. But if you come here, well, the page wasn't even named. So we can call this particular page splash screen. So yeah, so we will click on here, which is the main page, and then we will click here and rename it to splash. Okay, and that's all. We named it splash. And then for you to see the makeup of each of the page, you have to come to the widget tree, because a particular page is made up of several components depending on what you add to it. All right, so right now, by default, every single new page just comes with a scaffold, which is the main one here. You cannot delete it. It's the foundation of every single screen in your application. All right, so then this one is the one that comes as a default column, and then we have a default app bar. Okay, so that's what you have here. See, the designer had put the information here. We don't have to put those things in our application, because they will come by default depending on the particular device that our user is using. So that's why we have the app bar here. Okay, so at this point we don't need to put anything here. We just want to take off the app bar. So I selected the app bar and clicked on delete on my keyboard, and then that's gone. Now I have my main column here. If I come here to the splash screen, I see here that the scaffold itself is being given a primary color. You see? Now, what I need to do is I can go ahead and click on this to add a row. All right, so I'm going to be adding a row in the column, which was already provided for free by default. And why am I doing that? I'm doing that because I want to be able to put this particular image here at the center of the column and at the center of everything here. So, well, there are different ways to do it. Either I think the best way to do is what I'm just doing right now. So I put a row, or better still, let me just show you how it can go. So now, first of all, let's come back here to the application and go to the components. And then in the components, let's come over to where we have, this logo here. It's called travel. So I'm just going to double tap twice so I can have access to it. And I need to go ahead and just export it. So I'm going to click on export, and I'm going to change this to maybe 2x, preview it to be sure that it's what I'm exporting, and then I click to export black. So it says here color equals to black. That's like the name of the component. So what I need to do is just remember this color, the name of that stuff. So I'll click here, and I'll click to this particular icon here. It's called add a child to this widget. It's just a button where you click whenever you want to add another child to a particular widget. So I'll click here, and then we see lots of children that we can add to this. So basically, a component is called a child. When you're adding it to another widget that already existed before this one you're about adding. So it's more like this is the parent, and whatever you're adding inside it, of course, is the children. So now we're going to add an image, and we want to figure out the dimension of the image. So if you see here, the dimension is 117.32 by 33.48. So we can just take 117 and 34. Okay, so we would just come over here on the right hand side and say the width is 117 and here is 34. That way, then for the border radius, we would just go ahead and remove this border radius, make it 0. A border radius is just the radius by the corners of the image. And the next thing that we need to do is change the image type from network to asset, and we will click on upload image. It'll bring us to our file manager in your device. All right, so I'm using in Mac, and so it brings me here. So I'm gonna look for color, and because that was like the name of the file, so I just see it here, it's called color here, so I'll just click on open. Now when I click on open, it brings it here, and for me to make it take the exact shape of the component that we've used here, which is an image with a specific dimension, I just need to click on box fit. That way it just enters properly. But if you observe, it's not at the center. That's where I need to right click on it and wrap that widget with a row. And that way I can now go ahead and center align that widget. That's particular, like just click to say whatever is inside this row, I want it to always be at the center. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then now I can click on the column and say whatever is inside the column, I want it to always be at the center. The reason is because what we have here in our design is at the center. Although we have something here that says version 1.1.0. So what we would do here is we will click on the column again and add a row. In the row, we will add a text. And then that text, we will say version 1.1.0. And then we will click on here and center align it. And normally we would have just clicked on this to take it down to the bottom, but for some reason that doesn't really work. So I would just, refresh that. What we can do here is, it's somehow pinned at the bottom, like somewhere around here. But if we go ahead and we can give a padding in between them, but I don't know, since we don't have access to clicking each of these, I might not know the exact padding, so we will just guess it. I would just say 400. Right, now I do that, but it pushes this one up here, right? It's not really a good idea. So I can say, I can do like this. I can push it down like this, and that still works. That means I'm pushing this and saying this one just go down, and this one just, be here, all right? You can play around with it to just figure it out a bit. I hope you understand. So that's for that very first part. And we will go ahead and create the next part. Now, this one is more like all of this is one screen, okay? Don't be worried, it's just one single screen. Now, what we're gonna do is we're going to just go ahead and click on, let's go back here and click on this icon here. It's for adding new pages to our application. So I would just click here to add a new page, and it tells me create a blank page. Now let's go back. You can create a new page, you can create new components, you can create new flows. Well, this particular feature is not up yet. Okay, it's up. All right. I've actually not used it yet, so you can actually get to create new flows. I've used new page, new component. I haven't used this yet. Flutter flow is amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and click on create blank, and we will call this page onboarding. All right, so yeah, we will call it, no, it's not onboarding really. Well, yeah, it is onboarding in a way, right? Yes, it's called onboarding. Yes. So we call it onboarding, and just like we did before, we will click on these and remove the app bar, and we will go ahead and let's see, we have the icon here. It's a bit different, right? So there's an icon here, and then we have the text here, and we have these and all of that. So first of all, what we need to observe is that this screen is supposed to be slidable. It's supposed to be slidable. You slide, it takes you to the next one and then the next one. And how do you do that within Flutter Flow? You will come over here to the widget tree, and then you see the default column, and you click here and you just scroll down. And when you scroll down, you see something called page view. All right, so now this page view is what will allow us to create that particular functionality or that feature that we saw in the design. Okay, so let's click on this, and this is an image that is supposed to be here. I'm just gonna take it out. For some reason it's not showing. I don't know, but it has a default image here. It's supposed to be showing, but it isn't. Let's look for a default gray image, something like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna default gray. This would have been cool, but I don't like it that much. Can I find something else? I just need default gray. Well, this is not bad, but let me copy it and say copy image address. Okay, I think I mistakenly clicked something. So let's say copy image address, and let's paste this here instead. Okay, so it works. So we have this gray image. So this was what I meant by there's an image here, but we don't want an image. So I'm just gonna delete the image off. Now it has 3 different areas for 3 different swipes. You see here, it has 30 different swipes. And then what I'll just do is delete this and click to delete this as well. And here, what I'll do is each of these pages, right, we can add a column to it. Now in the column, we can add a row, and in the row, we can add, for this first one, no, not a text, we can add an image. So, well, we're going to struggle a bit, but we will be fine. So this is supposed to be something we should just easily click and download, but we don't have access to it. So we will just come over here and click on this. It says 70 by 20. So I will just come over here and click on export and change this to 2x just to make it a bit more visible, and then export white. So it says color again, but this time around white. Okay, so 70 by 20, and I will just come here in the row, add an image. The image dimension will be 70 as width and 20 as height. I'm going to remove the border radius, and I'm going to switch this image type from network to asset, so I can click here to upload the color. So we have color white, and there you go. Now I need to get something else. I need something like something more darker. So default dark gray. I prefer dark gray. So what? I don't know why they're mixing it up like this. I just need the dark gray. Okay, yeah, this will work. So I'll just right click and copy image address and come here. All right, so the default background is supposed to have a color. So I'm gonna right click on this column. I want to cover every single thing in a background. If I come here to the page view, it doesn't really have a background. All right, so I want each of it to have I'm gonna wrap this column, wrap the widget with a container. The container is going to have an infinite width because I want it to just cover everywhere, and then an infinite height as well. And I will just paste the color here. So I didn't paste that well. So I'll paste this here. Well, for some reason, it's not working. So copy image address. Let's try it again. Okay, that didn't work for some reason. I don't know why. This looks like gray, but I don't actually like, it's not like a smooth gray. Okay, let's try it. Copy image address, and let's try it again. For some reason that is still not working. So I'm gonna just pick a color, random color here in the background. So I'm just using this secondary text. Is there any other one I could use? No. So I just pick that up, and now here, if you observe, we're going to just be working on this intuitively, right? So we have this image here, and then we have traveler, and then we have another text here. So we will just, guess the sizes. Okay, so traveler here is fire. Let's just arrange them first. So there's traveler. Then let me just click this, come here and do it like this. Okay, I'm gonna click on the column again and add a row, and in the row I'm gonna add a text, and the text says let's explore the world. So I will say here, I'll come here and say let's explore the world, and I'll turn it to white. Okay, and I'll go ahead and change this to maybe 800, and this is gonna be like 36. Okay, so we would just be guessing that. So let's explore the world. The padding here, from here to here, we're gonna have to give it a space. So I'm gonna click here and give it a unique space. So let's say 20. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Okay, not that, but the text here. I'm gonna click on this because I want the text to fall down. It's called expansion here. So here we say let's explore the world, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add another padding on this side, 20. Okay, and next thing I'll do is possibly increase this to 45. Yeah, so the day comes down here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and click on the row and provide some padding because it's a bit far away from this. I want to guess that that's going to be like 25. So you can always use WordWorks. Okay, so then for this one, let's see here. We have that, and then we have these again. So let's just duplicate. Let me just duplicate this here. Duplicate these, and here it says let's explore the world with us with just a few clicks. So let's explore the world with us with just a few clicks. And then in this one, we're going to reduce the fonts because it's gonna be like, I think, normal, and we're looking at 16. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so then we need to give it some space. Well, that's okay. Then I think that's about it. Let's see, is it at the middle of the screen? Well, somehow it's at the middle, so I will just click on this column and say middle. All right, so it's just gonna be here, and this particular thing now is what we need to do here. Now we're not gonna be creating an entire replica of the whole thing. So here we had a main column, so let me add a row here, and then in the row we're gonna add a button. So you see here there is an icon here that says next. I don't know the width, I don't know the height, we're going to just assume. So I'm gonna come over here to the component. Okay, so I think we can figure that one out because there is a particular part of the component that says okay, I might not really guess it so well. So it says here this is the color of the button. So I can copy the color of the button by clicking here and copying it. Let's assume the height is like 35. Okay, so the width could be anything. So let's come over here and say here I'm just gonna paste the color of the button, the fill color here, and I'm gonna remove this elevation by putting 0. Elevation is just like the small gray area around it. The width, I'm gonna make it infinite. Well, it refused to be infinite because I need to turn this on. Okay, so then I can say next. I think that was what was there, and then here I can say infinite, and I can give it some padding on the left and on the right, 20, and then here I can say 20. So that way we have this. Now we still have a couple of things to do, like let's see. So here we have okay, I think what we need to do actually is this gray area, this gray container is supposed to cover everything. So let me click here and just cut this. That's Windows Control X or Command X, and then I will just delete this, right? And then I will click this and paste what was there. It's still there. And then I will click on the main entire page view widget and right click to wrap the widget with a container. All right, and then I will say infinite width, infinite height, click here and then choose a fill color. All right, so it covers everything now. Now here for this one, I will just give it some padding. Okay, now I think we still didn't cover everything. Okay, so let's go off there. So I think that didn't work out, so I'm just doing Command Z to undo what I did. Now I'm gonna click on onboarding, and then I'll come here to the background color. Background. Okay, now this one can only give us a background color, but later on we will need to change. Okay, I see what's happening here. We will need to change. I don't know why this image changes though, but okay, we would just need to change these to real image. So actually the wrap the entire column, wrap it with a container, and then we will go ahead and say infinite width and then infinite height, and the fill color is gonna be this. Now everything is covered. Okay, so then for this row we need to give it some padding. No, we don't. We just need to give these the page view a color. So if you see here, it has color, so we can just say these, right? And then the inactive color, we can just say it's maybe, I don't know, these or these. No, something a bit not so bright. Okay, I think this worked actually, but we might have to like dim it a bit. Yeah, so something like this. Okay, so that way we have something tangible. But now we need to give it some padding at the bottom just so we can have some space here. So I'm clicking on the main row and giving it a bottom padding of 20. So now we have something that looks similar and close to these. Well, we can still give it a top padding of maybe 100, so it can have these pushed up a bit. Okay, so that way we are very close to having something like this. Now we have these not like, really similar. So what we have there is the width of each of these, but I think we don't have to like make it an entire replica of it, right? So this is just our own unique design. Okay, and so that's it, and I hope that you learned that. What I just need to do now is I will just go ahead and copy the the content of this column. I'm just gonna copy it, Ctrl C, click on these and paste it. In the second one, click on these and Command V to paste it in a tab. And then I can just change some things. Visit tourist attractions. So for this one now, I'm gonna just click and change it to visit tourist attractions. Visit tourist attractions. And it says here, find thousands of tourist destinations ready for your visit. So it says here, find thousands of tourist destination ready for your visit. And then the other one is just get ready for next trip. So we can just come here and say get ready for next trip. And the content is it's just the same thing like the previous one. So we can just come here and copy what we have here, and then come over here and click here and paste it. So that way we have something similar to what we have created already. Now I know you might be wondering, why don't we just use an image? So let's go to Unsplash. Let's go to unsplash.com, right? And this is where we can get unique pictures. So let's say traveler. So we need a traveler picture that is dark, right? So I think this is good actually. So if we can download this. So it says Alexei. So now let's come over here and go to our widget tree, the container, and scroll down, go to background image, change it from network to assets. Okay, can we copy this image location? Let's copy that. It might be simpler. Let's take it back to network and just paste this. Yeah, so we have this now. So this is it, and for us to preview what we've done, you can just click on the preview app button here and just wait for a couple of seconds, and you will see the beauty of what we have just created. Now this is just the very first part of our front-end development section in this course, right? So I believe that you enjoyed it, and I believe you're also trying to replicate it to aid your practice. So I'm just going to click here to reduce the percentage of zoom, and later on we can just create, like, make these corners more carved, right? So this is just how it looks like. Okay, so like that and like that. Okay, I hope you're excited and I hope this is good for you. Let's meet again in the next part of the course.